Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we're going to have a look at my free-to-play account progression, and then we're going to talk about some team building basics. A lot of people have been asking for teams on my Discord and just in general also in the comments in YouTube. So yeah, I figured it would be a good time to make a video about some initial team comps you can run when you create a new account, and also how to develop them for the late game as well, or for the multi team battles or stuff like that. So that's going to be the main focus of this video, but first I obviously wanted to share the progression on my free-to-play account. It is going overall quite well, but I'm super pissed on my Gustang pools. Because the ones I recorded went okay. It was like 72 black market per pool. But after I stopped recording, I pushed a bit more, I did some more summons, and it's insane. It took me 399 pulls for 4 copies of Gustang, which means I hit 103 times, and the 4th copy was on 99. I'm not kidding. It was absolutely insane. I was fuming. I don't know. I was about to say, like, okay, fuck Gustang, I'm not gonna pull for him. I'm gonna save everything, but no, I'm still going to Rainbow 5 him. I have to push a lot more. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but I will do it. I cannot see this guy a Rainbow 2. If you remember when I stopped pulling, it was at Orange 1. Then I pulled 4 more copies with the rates I just told you. And then I did some more pulls, and fortunately I only got the 5th copy after 60 pulls, which sucks. So it means around like 460 for 5 copies. That's garbage. That's terrible. But it is what it is. I mean, fuck it. So right now I have no black market pools, I have no suspending, I have nothing. So I have to push some more to get all the materials back and hopefully get this guy to level 5. And then I will have to push a shit ton to get the materials and the resources for the new family head. Again, it's going to be really, really hard, but I will try my best, and I want all 3 family heads maxed out on my free-to-play account. So that's the plan. And yeah, other than that, I made some changes to my dresses. So finally, I moved all of them to accuracy and swiftness. There are still some roles to change, but overall, I'm quite satisfied with the current progression. I have 360 accuracy and 64 swiftness for strength, 65 swiftness and 400 accuracy for dexterity. And this one is the one with the lowest accuracy, I think. Yeah, 327 and 69 swiftness. So for intelligence, really good swiftness rolls. Not so good for accuracy, but I still have a lot to roll in this one. I still have a lot of evasion that I have to get rid of. I think I also have the materials to do it, yes. Also the other ones I can easily improve them. So I'm quite satisfied about my Essence facility. I also got halfway through with the origin orb for yellow, purple, and blue. Red is almost there. I need 6 more books, and that's done. And I need 4 more of the green ones, and green is done as well. Then with the Expiro Suspendium that I got in the previous patches, I used it to go down a bit more on the yellow one. Why I picked the yellow one, to be honest, I'm not sure. I think I will probably do the other ones with the remaining Expiro Suspendium. Not for this update, because I will use it on Gustang, but for the future ones leading to the anniversary, I will definitely use the Expiro Suspendium to progress a bit more in this tree as well. So yeah, that's another thing that happened. What else should I talk about? I don't think there is really much. If I go in the trials, I neglected a bit these elemental trials, so I'm starting to push hard and not forgetting them every day. So that's really important, guys. You want to push them because they will give you a ton of black market tickets. And I think in around 1 month or so, I should be able to get above. No, actually, 1 month is not enough. But yeah, let's say 1 month or 1 week or something, I will get above 600 in all trials, and that will give me 180 black market every week. So hopefully I can actually achieve a Rainbow 5 new family head or new EX unit, whatever that's going to be. And for the Trial of Chaos, I'm higher than the enemy, I think. No, actually, no. But they also start to have quite a lot of evasion, like 1064, and my accuracy is not there. Is 895, so it's becoming a bit of a struggle because of the accuracy deficit. But yeah, we can definitely push some more here, no problem. I just need, again, to focus more on my accuracy and also level it up on my Gustang, the accuracy subnode. So that I will definitely do. At the moment, it doesn't really have a lot of investment. So if you go over my revolution here, it just has 20 swiftness and that's it. I will definitely level up the accuracy. Actually, looking at the resources, let's do it right now. Because it's not going to be important for adventure, but I need 1 DPS for trials to get to 1000, so it's going to be the one. And here we have an additional 100 accuracy. I think I already did the equipment. Yes, I already did the equipment. So for this guy, he's close to the enemy evasion. I just need to improve the Trestles facility that is only at 320 for intelligence, and then that guy will hit no problem all the enemies in trials, and I can progress there. And what else do I have to mention? Nothing much. If we go over the builds that have my units, you will see that they are extremely bad. Like this guy, okay, he's a carry, so I gave him something actually useful. I'm running a resistance build, even though it doesn't get close to the 100% resistances. Well, it's almost there, but I don't have any resistances in Dresden, so that's kind of hard. And I'm relying on just other units maybe buffing his resistances a bit, or just in general, this guy doesn't really get hit much. So I decided during the video that I recorded after the pulls to go for resistances on this guy initially. Once he hits Rainbow 5, I will definitely switch to a full DPS build, even though it doesn't really matter too much, but it's still something to keep in mind. My Trom Ray has some resistances and I have a Sela on him, just in case, but again, it can barely reach the magic resistance 100% with Sela, but not with physical resistance, so it's kind of trash, and is not really gonna survive on his own, but he will rely on the team to do that, so it's okay. I could still improve it, but I don't want to at the moment. I could give him a Bari, would be better, but then I lose out on a lot of resistances, and it doesn't really get targeted too much because he's untargetable, so he's just partially useful. Then we have Towa. She also has a fully improved set, but I don't think her stats are anything really worth looking at. She's almost there with physical resistance, and she's there with magic, which is nice, actually. But yeah, I had to give her a set because of the link to the princess. I decided to link the princess to Tokoyami Towa for some reason. So yeah, that's why she had the upgraded set. If we now look at the other units, we have a Bari with obviously a not improved slot 1 for Eden, so that my Evan can have an higher attack than him, and Mamanak can link to Evan. And then the rest is just resistances, but also this guy is not going to have anywhere close 100%. Actually, not bad for physical resistance, but just average for magic. Let me see. Yeah, I already upgraded this piece. That's unfortunate. So yeah. All the other units should not have anything except for Revolution Bomb. So like my Evan has exactly 4-piece Bari with just some random shit. And this one is just there for the attack increase so that he has higher attack. That's all. Then we have Yerang, 4-piece Bari, not upgraded. We have Yugo, 5-piece Bari, not upgraded. It doesn't really matter. Then we have, who else am I using here? Albelda, 4-piece Bari without anything. She doesn't even have the carrier unlocked, I think, yeah. I didn't even improve her exclusive equipment, it doesn't matter. She's fine without it. I could, potentially, that would help her a little bit, but I don't care, really, so. Let me just keep the items, just because I don't like to see question marks everywhere. Revolution Bomb I still did not get his Revolution 6, and I think his damage is still good enough, so it's fine from my point of view. I'm still playing him with Barry, because for some reason Barry and his passive are interactive a lot better than I was expecting them to. So I think Barry is a solid pick on him. And yeah, it's very simple Barry crit damage magic pierce. There is nothing fancy to it. This guy has 131 swiftness. This is really, really high, so I like it. And yeah, not much we can say. Anniversary Iwa, 4-piece Barry. That's it, not upgraded. Then we have this guy here. I don't know why I gave him. Probably I upgraded it for somebody else and then it ended up shit and I gave it to him. But okay, doesn't matter. Also this piece, another very shitty one, so I gave it to him. But it's basically a 4-piece unupgraded Barry. It doesn't matter. Then we have... I think this guy doesn't even have anything. Let me check. Yeah, it doesn't have anything. Actually, should fix that. Not that I'm using him, but still could be interesting. Nare should have a 4-piece Barry, not upgraded. Yura, same thing. Vivi, I had to upgrade her set, and I wanted to give her 100% resistances because the deficit is still not too high, so I'd rather have her alive than actually deal some damage. So thanks to Sela, she can reach 100% resistances. Without Sela, she cannot. So that's really important. Her best set is Sundance, but that's only if you can keep her alive. So in this scenario, I decided to use Sela. Paragarv, 4-piece Barry, nothing, but I never use him. Then we have a 4-piece Barry Reflejo, and that's all it needs, really, is a really good tank. Then we have a 4-piece Anna, not upgraded. As you can see, there is not really a lot that you need to do on these units. Also here, 4-piece Barry on Princess of Zard Anak. This piece here, I don't know why it's upgraded, but okay, doesn't matter, because the resistances are trash anyway. So, okay. And then who else? Leroro, 4-piece Barry, unupgraded. 4-piece Barry for Orkney as well, no upgrades. So as you can see, it's all like that. The units I'm using are those. There is nobody else, I would say. So yeah, really, really basic stuff. Now let's go over the core of this video, which is going to be team building. That's also why I have my website here on the left, which, by the way, I changed today. So if you already used it in the past, you are used maybe to click in and then clicking on the slot. It was a bit clunky and annoying to use. Now it's a very simple drag and drop, and you can swap units. It's a bit easier to use, I think. So let me know in the comments how you feel about that. And I also added the save as image button. So after you have placed the units, you can just click save and you're good to go. It will create and download an image and you can share that without having to screenshot anything. I think it's a pretty nice addition. So let me know in the comments how you feel about that. Now let's quickly go through the teams I'm running and you will immediately see a problem. So we have the first team. This is a Revolution Bomb team. You can run a white as well. If you just started out after May 21st, you're going to go white instead of Revolution Bomb. And this is basically a purple team with these two guys that do not really matter too much. So you can still run a Reflejo, Anna, white, then you go Kunagero instead of Lororo, and you can go Yura instead of Irang. I think I have Yura somewhere else, but okay, you get the idea. Then we have this team here that works well most of the time, and this is wrong. I just upgraded the links, so maybe they are messed up a little bit now. We'll see. Also this one, yeah, exactly, they're messed up because of the level up. So let me fix that. Where is Anna? Okay. I'm going to go through all the explanations in a second. First, I just wanted to show them. So here we have an add-on team. My add-on is still not Rainbow 5, but okay. Then we have this team, which is the weirdest one because there is no real carry. This guy is not a carry unless you're facing units with a lot of shields or attack buffs. So in all other scenarios, this guy cannot really win. And like this enemy team, this guy on his own cannot beat it. I decided to add a Towa to further strengthen this team, because otherwise it do not really kill shit. And I added a Vivi with the build I showed you before, and with the buffs provided by Towa and by Yura, she deals enough damage. Is more or less the same damage as Towa deals, so not insane, but still decent. So she definitely helps. And then for the last team, we have a very simple Gustang team with Nare to improve his survivability. This guy just to tank a little bit, but we don't really give a shit. As soon as this guy starts spamming the special move, the fight is over unless you're facing some very annoying teams. We also have Okni to provide an initial energy to this guy, even though it doesn't really need it. But it will also provide it over time during the fight and also improve the evasion of everyone. And that means that with enough RNG, you can win most fights. I also have Hiwa here because I was running resistances on my Gustang, so having some heals helped a little bit, not too much. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm running. And yeah, as for the explanations, I think it's pretty straightforward. The combination Reflejo and Anna is very good because Anna, doesn't matter the amount of dupes you have, she's going to summon a bunny where the high stack enemy is, and the enemies will kind of focus on that bunny because it will spawn at the very beginning of the fight, and the front line, instead of moving towards your team, there are exceptions, so there are units that still move to your team, but okay. The majority of the units will move to the bunny. So they will be grouped up, then Reflejo is coming, and it will knock them all up with the special move, and also decrease the energy on an AoE with his basic attacks, decrease evasion, decrease a lot of stuff, so really good unit to have, and it will be almost unkillable. As you can see in this team, we have no survivability whatsoever. We're only relying on the early grouping, the CC from this guy, and the CC from Revolution Bomb. If you don't have a Revolution Bomb and you have to go with white, you then rely on the CC from Kun Agero. So that's also really important. We also have Irang just to double down on the grouping, and also because they didn't really have any better unit to deploy, honestly. Otherwise, I probably would have. But yeah, Irang is going to group them and stick them together. Then Reflejo is going to benefit from this grouping and also this guy. So really good stuff. There as well. He has an AoE special move, so pretty good. Overall, these teams works fine and will destroy most teams unless they are countered, but we'll talk about that maybe later. Then we have the add-on team. This one is a bit trickier to use. I have a Yugo just because she actually deals respectable damage and no dupes, so I decided to add her in. And she most of the times deal enough damage to kind of compete with Eden. Well, let's say 1/3 of Eden's damage, more or less. But here the key and important thing is that we want to have Mamanak linked to Evan so that we have invincibility up most of the time. It's not going to be 100% reliable, but it will be up most of the time. And in this team, well, I already commented on that, why I made this sort of deployment. And let me also make some additional changes here because we have these annoying huts, and he's going to hopefully turn to my Kunmashin here. That is going to ult away from my team, so I'm going to place her there, but we're going to see. I also think I could use him against a different team. This is the first stage of floor 88, so I still haven't checked which kind of matchups I want to have. And then in this team, I already mentioned, we just need to provide this guy energy and distract enemies a bit at the beginning, and it should be fine. Let me quickly try to reassemble the teams if there is any better deployment that I can do. I think first team is fine. Actually, this team would kind of destroy that one. Here we could win. I kind of hate Vespa a little bit. We can try, and the last one should not be a problem. Maybe I can just do something like this because this guy will dodge attacks at the beginning of the fight. and that include La Road Grab, so it's okay. And let's see. I guess these should work. But we can give it a shot, and it doesn't matter the outcome. I will just do it once and then stop, and we're going to go over some additional combinations on my website. I will just start creating some themes and giving some sort of explanations. So let's have a quick look at this fight. Hopefully it goes well. I don't know. And as you can see, they're all grouped up by the bunny. This guy is knocking them up. Then we have the jolt from the AoE from Anna. Then we have the special move from Bam. Now we have the grouping from Irang that is bringing them all in the center. And then we have more special moves from Reflejo and Revolution Bam. And they're all sticking together and doing absolutely nothing. So that's a really good comp. Even if you don't have any sort of survivability, it still works on enemies that can be CC'd. If an enemy cannot be CC'd, then that's a pain in the ass. But in this case, it's fine. Now, this is a bit trickier. Well, not really, because they used it. So if both Michael use the special move, then whenever they're jolted, that will trigger an attack increase on them, which means Tromray has an attack buff to remove, and it will basically annihilate them. Now, this is a loss, because, well, no, actually, maybe Towa can win it. Yeah, okay, Towa won it, so that's good. But it was about to be a loss because we lost Cobalt, that is the frog. So yeah, looking good so far. Let's see this team. Okay, this is the one that I have the most doubts on because Tank Hats is extremely annoying. But let's see how it goes. So there we have Hugo that is being gangbanged, but we don't care. Hopefully Vespa can die quickly because she's super tanky. Okay, good. I would have preferred if Eden started attacking Tank Hats, but it's okay also like that. Okay, nice, nice. One special move. Okay, this is a win as well. Nice, good fight. And nice. We have the next fight here. Let me see. This one should also be a win, no problem. So we see the grab from La Road failed because Hockney is immune to that. And here we have the first special move of Gustang that already been cast, the second one, and now all the enemies should stay at the back, but they decided to destroy me. Okay, fine. So that's not looking too good. There is not really anything that I can do at the moment with my current setup. I could potentially use Albelda, but she's not really going to boost survivability that much. Yeah, we can stick to this fight and see how it goes. I also would like, yeah, this should be fine because I don't think they're going to reach Anniversary Iwa. And even if they do, it doesn't matter. I don't really care too much about her. Hopefully with a bit of RNG, this is going to be an easy win, but I'm not so sure. One of the few fights that was like, yeah, it's not a problem. But I think Adon is killing my Gustan, because when he has the domain, every time there are those blades, I think he's reflecting damage on Gustan. And that's not good. That's not something we want to see. Okay, better. He was risking it, because if he got hit like 1 or 2 times, it would have been dead, but this time he dodged like most of the damage. So that's good. That's really good. Okay, fine. So that was a match example to show you how I'm running 4 teams, even though I only have 3 DPSs basically, because I'm not counting Vivi for real. She's just okay-ish. But yeah. There's also the team I'm running on a single stage. It doesn't really matter. It's a bunch of OP units and they hardly ever lose. Especially here, they have 2 shielders, actually 3, plus an attack buffer. So yeah, very easy. In the meantime, that this is going in like auto progress. let's go through maybe some initial 2 teams that you could be running. So you might be starting with white if you're a new player now. So we'll go with a very basic white team. As already shared, we go with white. We go with Anna. She's fine at 0 dupes. You don't need to get her to Rainbow 5 anytime soon. And she will just group up the enemies at the beginning. That's the most important thing that she has to do. Because white, when the enemies are grouped up, is going to deal a lot more damage. So that's nice. Then we go Reflejo. This guy is extremely important to have at Rainbow 5. And afterwards, like if you're talking about the very, very first team, then you can also add a Mamanak into the mix. She's going to buff your white quite a lot, so that's nice. And the last unit can be easily Yura, or really, really solid support for any purple DPS. And just in general to have sort of a revive, that's also going to come in handy. But it's a very basic first team that you can run without too many problems. You can easily replace Mamanak with, where is that? With Kunagero. There are no problems here. And this is also the team that I would be recommending on a 2-team setup. And in this case, the other team really that you can do is just a, well, Gustang if you decided to pull for him. Let's say you went for Gustang and you did not go for Eden yet. Because for Eden, I would say non-stop number 3 should be the one that you want to use for him. So in this case, you can easily just run Evan 0 dupes. Then you can run, where is that? Bam. There to give energy to everyone. And you can run a Mamanak. In this case, whether you want to link her, where is she? Here. Whether you want to link her to Evan or to Gustang, doesn't really matter. If you have a maxed out Gustang, you probably don't have a choice because she will link to him most of the times. But if you have a 0 dupes Gustang, it's probably still better to link her to Gustang actually, because then he gets more energy and he can cast these special moves a lot more quickly. So probably linking her to him is still the preferred choice. Then for the last unit, to be honest, it hardly matters. But since we're building Anniversary Iwa as the second unit, you can add her in the mix. We're going to all work well together. So this is kind of a setup you can do. When you then need 3 teams, these guys are going to be removed from this team, from my point of view, and you can add Eden in the mix. Eden doesn't need to be too high in dupes. It will start working from 0 dupes. It would be better to have like 3 green for an additional upgrade on the special move, but still, it will do okay. And then for the last slot, to be honest, it doesn't matter. I used Yuga 0 dupes, and she works perfectly fine. But you can also use any frontline unit for that matter. You can add also Tomraid 0 dupes if you happen to have him. You can add Edzahard. He's a frontline unit that also breaks shields, and shields at times are a bit annoying to deal with an Eden team. So that's also an option that you have. And in the Gustang team, on the other hand, you just add a Data Machine so that she buys some time and she tanks. And then you add an array to provide more energy and survivability to Gustang, and also a bit to the team. So where is she? Here. And for the last slot, whatever you can get. If you can get an Orkney, that's a really solid option. That is basically the same team I was running. Otherwise, yeah, kind of up to you. For the 4th team, this is really difficult. This really depends on what your choices are and what your SSR plus units are, because relying on a SSR DPS is going to be extremely tricky because they don't really scale well. Vivi is the best one, but as you could see, she's still not reliable enough. Wait a second, let me see if I need to change anything in this team setup. I think there is no way they can win. Like my team can win. Because we have 2 units that have physical peers, 1 guy that has magic peers. They're just going to melt my whole team. Unless I can get Towa to cast this special move reliably, but she cannot. So yeah, that's gonna suck. Okay, I can place her in the middle because when she's there, Misang is going to go on her, but then probably the one in the center, this Warion, is going to go on Mashin as well. But this one is definitely crashing into my team and is going to destroy them. They will still get destroyed because of the sort of boomerang attack that she has, this one. So probably everyone is dying unless there is Towa invincibility up at that time. But we'll try our best, I guess. A few retries and it could go okay. So I was saying, for SSR DPS units, your best options are going to be Wang Ja, even though I don't really recommend him that much, but he has high burst and he can work. He will need where is she? Zero dupes, Irang. So those two will have to be played together regardless. That's really, really important. That's an option. Kind of up to you if you want to go for that or not. Another option is, as I was mentioning, for purple, we have Vivi, and to be honest, we also have white. Sorry, Joaquin. I don't know why I called him white. But yeah, these two are the best options that we have for purple. And other than Vivi, I don't really recommend anyone else. But they could work. They're not bad. But it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much of a stretch. For red, nobody. Maybe a Craptor, but no, not at the same level as the other ones. For blue, same thing. Maybe Quietro, but no, don't do it. It's a waste. And for green, probably even worse. And the only option would likely be Mew Love, but again, no. So if you really have to bet on an SSR DPS unit to carry your fourth team because you have no other options, then try Vivi, try Joaquin, or try Wang Nanja. In this setup, if we go with Vivi or Joaquin, it's a problem because we already have a lot of purple support for white. Now, white, if you're running a resistance build and your deficit is lower than 300, he will carry almost on his own, so you can remove some units. It's not something I want to do. So in this case, we're going to use a Irang plus Wangnan combination. That's the plan. We go Wangnan, we go Irang, where is she? And yeah, the other options, to be honest, are kind of limited. Let me see. The thing is, Wangnan likes to have a sort of mono yellow team because he gets a lot of attack buffs from that. So your best options would be here to have it zero dupes. I would say Yugo. We don't have any survivability whatsoever, which is extremely concerning, if you ask me. We could add an Albelda, even if she's zero dupes attached to Wangnan. Could be fine, but could also be not really that needed. Other options, we are really on the lower hand here, guys. It's really, really difficult to put together a team with these few units. It's gonna be really, really hard. I'm thinking Shibisu, but not really gonna help. If you have Towa, obviously go Towa, but that doesn't apply to most people, I think. What else do we have here, actually? Vespa could be a decent pick, even a low dupes, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I have to admit, if you don't have another SSR plus DPS, this is going to suck for you guys. This is really gonna suck. I'm lucky because still Chomray Rainbow 5 is not the best, but at least it can do something. With this setup, is going to be extremely hard. So what we can do here is just add a frontline unit just to buy a little bit of time. So let's do a Shibisu with Bari. Nah, that will suck. Let's do a Vespa. Vespa with Bari should give you enough time to hopefully cast one special move from Irang. And then if the enemies are grouped up and they have the aggro on Hugo, he should be fine. But this is really kind of disappointing, I would say, in terms of team setup. The first three teams should have no problem, but the fourth one, yeah, really struggling. So you can imagine if we get to 5 teams without a proper DPS, we're going to be even more screwed. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. But the logic behind creating teams, guys, and that's going to be the last thing we're going to talk about here, is going to be that you want to understand what your DPS needs, and then you create a team around that. So, for example, we have an add-on here. So what does add-on actually need? Nothing. So he only really needs to stay alive, and once he's alive, he will deal his damage because he has max HP scaling damage, which means he's not affected by crit, he's not affected by attack increase, he's not affected by the enemy defense, he's not affected by the enemy resistances, he's not affected by anything, which means you cannot even buff him that much. And all he cares about is swiftness to get more attacks in, attack speed to get more energy for the special move, and then just to stay alive. If you can disrupt the enemies and remove heals, remove the shields, that's better. So in this setup, all the units are mandatory except for Zahard. Zahard is going to be used if there are a lot of barriers in the enemy team, or you can replace him and go for an HP recovery block that we don't really have too many of. The earliest one would be Varagarv, that can be easily obtained. So yes, you could go Varagarv and he would have HP recovery block. So if there are healers, this is not a bad pick. And he will also likely stay alive thanks to Evan. So shouldn't be too bad. And yeah, so you have to keep in mind what it needs and then you build a team around it. We also have the combination of Mamanak plus a lot of supports that is really, really busted. So Mamanak plus Evan will basically get the whole team to like a permanently immortal state. So that's really good. Or if you link her to Anniversary Iwa, only when Rainbow 5, that's kind of my recommendation. So if you have a Rainbow 5 Anniversary Iwa, let's just swap it out real quick. Then you don't even need BAM, you don't even need Vargarv, you need absolutely only these 3 units. And then you fill in whatever you're lacking. So again, shield break, HP recovery block, doesn't matter. You don't really need HP recovery block too much with Anniversary Iwa, because when she spams the special move, she gets a stack of the passive that will give 1 stack of invincibility to a teammate that goes below a certain percentage of HP, which is great. But is also going to be an AoE energy decrease on all enemies, and you're going to spam it back to back to back to back, which will make it extremely hard for enemies to cast special moves, and usually healers have the healing on the special move. There are obviously exceptions like Blank and other units, but it doesn't matter. On most cases, these 3 guys will be enough. So she's an extremely important unit to have a Rainbow 5 because yes, it will be kind of locked in this team, but this team is one of the most versatile and useful teams ever, and is also very, very minimal, as you can see. You just need 3 units and they're good to go. So really good shit. And yeah, so for Eden, that's what you need to understand. For a unit like Gustang, he also has max HP damage in the kit, and all he cares is really just staying alive in the first phases. He needs to cast the special move 2 times before he actually deals the max HP damage and the knockback. So that's the most important thing. You want to get him to cast the first 2 special moves super quickly, and then he's kind of good on his own. He's going to perma-CC the enemies and kill them slowly. So really good. A DPS like White, on the other hand, is an attack scaling DPS unit, and it will need all the buffs that you can give him. If you have defense decrease on the enemies, that's going to be good. Resistance decrease on the enemies, that's going to be beneficial. If you can give him survivability because he's close range, that's also quite important. But a lower deficit, if he has resistance, it doesn't really matter too much. And he really likes grouping, so that's why we build the team this way. We're going to have Anna grouping the enemies initially, Reflejo keeping them there, Kunagero doing the same thing. We also have Yura that is not only important for all the buffs that she provides to purple DPS units, but she also has an AoE energy recovery block on the special move that with all this grouping is really, really good. So this is the kind of things and reasoning that you have to do when you create a team. Look at your DPS, understand what they need and what they struggle against, and then try to add supports to strengthen them or weaken the enemy team so that they can act more easily. That's very basic. I hope that by sharing with you some of these initial tips and team examples, you can create your own as well, and maybe look at what you have in your account and what you can start building towards. And yeah, I will do my best to create more team examples in the team examples page that we see here. There are some already, like these are some of the initial ones that we also went through with some additional comments here. And these are all the ones that I uploaded. I still have a lot of them on the spreadsheet that I have to move, but it will take a bit. It's not really too simple to set it all up in the database, so it will take a bit. But I will definitely do it. I will add as many comps as I can, and hopefully afterwards you will have all the inspiration you need to create your own. In the meantime, I saw that we progressed actually quite a bit. We got to 8816, nice. I didn't have to make any further adjustments. Now we'll see. I will already use the buff before I go to sleep, and that's more or less it. I'm sorry if the video is super long. I will do my best to put some reasonable timestamps. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this video, if you like this kind of longer format where I discuss additional points. And if you have any requests on stuff that you would like to know, let me know in the comments and I will definitely cover them in a dedicated video. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.